Infrastructural needs on the island of Exuma getting the attention of works officials. Jiminy DeSwain tells us more about the assessment tour.
The dock at Barry Tarry, it was a 40-minute boat ride to Farmers Key, where the delegation assessed the dock there and other infrastructural needs. That included the local clinic. Director of Public Works Melanie Roach on the initial assessment.
We would have to do some minor repairs to the dock just to make sure that it continues its useful life. We also took a look at the clinic, which was reported to be damaged in a hurricane in 2011. But when we looked at the clinic, it wasn't built to Bahamas Building Code standards, so there's really nothing else to be done but to demolish it. But that's a decision that the Ministry of Health would have to make.
One of the key focuses of these trips for officials is to prioritize projects to be financed in the upcoming budget. In Black Point, road paving is proposed.
One of the key areas that we're going to be looking at is paving an additional road there that leads to persons. As the community grows, they move farther and farther out of the nucleus, and so we are going to have to look at extending the paved roads in Black Point.
Now, another stop for the delegation was the site for a proposed all-age school here in Staniel Key, where a number of concerns were expressed.
I'm seeing this for the first time. Staniel Key has a small student population, I think anywhere from 5 to 10 students. This is a very extravagant design. I'm not sure how the Ministry of Works would have come up with such a design as this. But it's a very extravagant design. It is a very costly design, and from looking at the structure, I have some concerns with respect to the roofing.
Well, basically, we're going to just have to make sure that the contractor applies the proper waterproofing on the roof, and a particular concern would be the flashing where the roof meets the vertical walls. We're going to have to make sure that that's flashed properly. Because we would have concerns about water penetrating through the roof.
That project is one which will cost the public purse just over $2 million. Now back to the Exuma mainland, plans are also underway for improving the dock there.
Barry Tarry has a dock that perhaps is in most urgent need of repair. The good thing about Barry Tarry is that the government does have the plans for it. And this is something that we are able to look out for and put out to tender and seek to be able to do something about it, because it is not in a condition that it ought to be in, particularly having regard to the number of boats and tourists that come through here to get into the Keys.
Now, while the minister and his delegation would have completed their assessments in the Exuma Keys, they plan to visit other sites on Exuma's mainland come Friday. Jiminy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
Well, Area Member of Parliament Chester Cooper says he is pleased with the assessment taking place on that island.
I think this was a great opportunity for the Minister of Works as well as Minister Roll to see firsthand some of the infrastructural needs, but more importantly to see the economy and the buoyancy of the economy from Barry Tarry here straight down to Staniel Key, the level of activity with yachters and boaters and people on tours, and we see the activity at lunch at Black Point. So sometimes when you have to convey the needs of your constituency and you're talking about some small key in the Exuma Keys, there isn't a level of appreciation that's needed.